A quick update on MicroStrategy. So after it selling off back to lows of $400 per share, MicroStrategy is finally beginning to show signs of a support. But will it hold? That is the question that everyone is asking. I do not know, right? This is why I closed that my short. But just so you guys could see, I cleared a little bit over $13,000 today, shorting the living life out of Mstr today. And I had a lot of fun doing it, right? So very consistent descending pattern. It's not rocket science. Obviously, when Bitcoin sells off, so will MicroStrategy. And it's very simple. If Bitcoin continues to retrace, then again, so will MicroStrategy. I wanted to share this with you guys very quickly. MicroStrategy expands its Bitcoin holdings. So again, I wanted to share the news, not just bad news, but obviously potential good news. This is a very bullish move for MicroStrategy, meaning that they are putting their money where their mouth is. I still believe MicroStrategy is incredibly overhyped up, incredibly overvalued, and it will be only a matter of time for it to crash right back down to sub $200 per share. I truly do believe that. Just like with GameStop and just like with SMCI, there's so much hype, and you can see just based off of the comment section how invested blindly people are into this stock. That being said, MicroStrategy acquired an additional 55,000 Bitcoins, roughly $5.4 million in their most recent update, boosting their overall holdings to 386,700 Bitcoin, and their most recent purchase at the 5.4 billion on November 18th was at an average purchase price of 97,000 per coin. So roughly at $5.4 billion, purchasing at nearly 98,000 per coin. If we look at Bitcoin's current price, they're down about 4,000 per Bitcoin. So what is that? Almost hundreds of millions of dollars is what they are currently down, if I'm not mistaken, on the current Bitcoin holding. Again, it's all what you kind of like see for Bitcoin in the up and coming future. The only thing that I want to share with you that might have changed things currently is that MicroStrategy's approach, to my understanding, is long-term. It's not this year. It's not the next 4 years. It's for the next 20 years. So I want to share that. MicroStrategy has no short-term view or concern about Bitcoin. This is where I think will ultimately end up leading to their failure. Just like every other hyped up cryptocurrency, it did exceptionally well while the market was bullish. But while the market, and if the market begins to correct itself as it's finally beginning to do, this is the first time on the 1 hour time frame that we're actually trading below the moving average, that we broke below it ever since breaking above 70,000 per coin on the initial breakout. So this is a huge gap up. And what does that mean? Well, if it breaks that support, there's a huge gap down. Now, if this thing does end up presenting itself and it does end up correcting itself, that retracement is about 30%. What do you think all of these trading platforms are going to need to do with all of their Bitcoin investors that purchase that 99, 98, and 97,000 per Bitcoin? What do you think? What notification do you think that they're going to get if Bitcoin retraces 20 to 30%? They're going to get a margin call, right? They're overly leveraged. Just like we saw the downfall of crypto back in, 2021, when it went from 67,000 all the way back down to 14,000. That is one thing crypto traders will never understand, and that is because there's a new wave of bag holders. They don't know how to mitigate risk. They don't know how to manage their position size, and they especially don't know how to take profits at extremely overbought levels. Again, when that thing begins to retrace, it's very easy to see that, oh yeah, MicroStrategy is going to continue to skyrocket and trade at 4 to 5 times of what they actually hold in Bitcoin. But are people going to have that same sentiment when Bitcoin begins to correct itself? Are they going to be as bullish and as easily convinced that they should go long on Bitcoin and continue to allow MicroStrategy to borrow at a 0% interest to continue to purchase this Bitcoin that ultimately might end up costing them their entire investment? Reminder, if you guys didn't look at this, their average purchase price, I guess as of right now, for 386,000 Bitcoin is around 56,000 per coin. So I just find that to be very interesting, because if Bitcoin does begin to retrace, we all know that's not far-fetched for Bitcoin, right? For it to correct itself. And for it to correct itself at previous support range is right around that $55,000, $60,000 range. And then if we break below that, I can reassure you this, it's going to be the FTX thing all over again. A bunch of crypto investors getting over their head, overly aggressive with too much size at overbought levels, where again, it was very easy to do when the markets were bullish. But then when market cycles begin to shift and investors begin to get concerned and fear begins to get injected into the market, just as quick as it ran up, it will come crashing down. Now, again, that's more of long-term view. As of right now with MSTR, I wanted to show you guys this firsthand on the 5-minute time frame. Again, I shorted the crap out of MSTR every single time that it tried to, form this lower high. I added more to my short. I added more to my short. I added more to my short. Ultimately closing $13,000 in the green, leaving myself with my one lucky share. I'm not carrying a position of shorting MSTR overnight. I closed it out, and I wouldn't be against going long on MSTR as a day trade. I would have no intention of carrying this position for a swing trade because I view it as a long-term investment. It's a completely bullshit company that is overhyped up, overvalued, and time will tell on how quickly it ends up correcting itself. If you look at this on the 4-hour time frame, it's a beautiful pump right before the dump, and I'm so excited that we've been talking about it just like we did with SMCI and just like we did with GameStop. But again, only time will tell, and this is why we take it day by day. It doesn't have to happen now. It doesn't have to happen this week. It doesn't have to happen this month. But again, it's only a matter of time for the dominoes to start to fall, and so will MicroStrategy. And I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think, but I want to remind you, the whole focus of my videos when I talk about MicroStrategy, I personally am choosing to short it day by day, right? As long as price action supports it. I want to remind you that if you're a beginner, this is not a stock that you want to short. It's an extremely trendy stock. It's extremely volatile. It can quickly change direction. And because of that, it's not designed for beginners. You need to learn how to walk before you run. And shorting is very risky. Because of that, again, I just think it's a maybe very unique stock that you can pay attention to so you can kind of just see the way that it trades so you can better identify pump and dumps in the future to not get trapped in that bull trap or in that hype of when something skyrockets 500% just within a few months for no apparent reason and simply for the fact of it being incredibly overvalued within a short period of time. So again, never be afraid to take profits, make your money, and bounce. And again, let's just focus on price action and direction. And tomorrow we'll see. If it continues to hold above 380 per share, then we'll see if the bulls take over. NASDAQ market is showing signs of weakness. So if Bitcoin also continues to fall, then MicroStrategy will most likely follow. And if that's the case, then I'll short it within our live trading session within our LPP team. So if you ever want to tune on into those live sessions, you don't have to, but I do host them every single morning exclusively for my LPP team. And it's the second link in the description down below if you want to join for as little as $1 per day. Again, I've said it before. I will put my money where my mouth is every single time. I shorted this on Friday. I shorted MSTR on Thursday, and we made a decent return. Today, I shorted it again and made $13,000. Not my biggest day shorting MSTR, but definitely a good one. I know that it's a super risky stock, and I want to remind you, do not put yourself in a position in which you are not ready to tolerate. So I hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. If you're ready to tune on in, you can join for as little as $1 per day, and it's the second link in the description down below. It is a one-time payment, lifetime access. So like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.